When you hear someone mention the word video games, what comes to mind? Maybe it's doing a spot of gardening with your animal humanoid neighbours, or shooting your way through Moscow airport as part of a terrorist cell. Of course, those examples are just the beginning when it comes to the range of games that exist today. Hello, I'm Finn, and I'm not normal. Welcome to my channel, where I'll provide video essays on games I've played and am yet to play. For my first video, however, I decided to give you a little peek into my personal taste with a collection of games that have morphed me into the person I am today. Over the course of the video, you'll see games that have affected me, whether that be for the better or worse. With that being said, let's get into it. Whilst conducting research for this video, it was made even more apparent to me how much the media's views on video games have shifted over the last 5 years. The Guardian newspaper published 2 articles 5 years apart, which showed polar opposite opinions on the way mental health is affected when video games are brought into the equation. The first article, written in 2015, used the findings of the University of Montreal's psychology department to suggest playing video games have a big link with certain mental illnesses, such as PTSD and depression. They conducted a study involving gamers and non-gamers, but only ran one test with each group and did not allow both groups to participate in both experiments, which in my opinion provides inaccurate results. Then the study in 2020 concluded that video games actually do have a positive effect on mental health by providing a sense of community during the 2020 lockdown, which was caused by... This study was conducted by Oxford University and proposes that games help improve human well-being. A key difference between the first and second article was the use of real-time play data for more accurate results in the second study. When people try to demonise gaming as a hobby, they always turn to Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty as their defence. But there are plenty of games out there that aren't trying to turn your children into terrible people. And in reality, all games have a subliminal lesson to them. For example, games with a trading market such as Warframe, one of my favourites, gives people an insight into the real world economy, and they can choose to waste or save their in-game currency any way they want while facing the consequences and learning from their mistake. To conclude the serious part of this video so I can move on to the meat and potatoes of it, I'll say this. The media have waged war against the video gaming community for years, but have since changed their view due to new studies coming out that contradict the previous ones. So why am I telling you this? Well, it's because I'm about to share with you how some of the games I've played have affected me through some hard times, and hopefully give you a reason to pick up a couple of them and try them yourself. But before we get into it, I want to know your opinions on the war of games. Are you for it or against it? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, without further ado, here is the games that have impacted me. I'm so fresh, you can suck my nuts. I'm so fresh, you can suck my nuts. Disclaimer before we start. As well as making some jokes in this video that some people might find offensive, I'll also be revealing major spoilers for the following games. If you've ever had or even watched people play games on consoles and PCs, chances are you know what Minecraft is. Minecraft is a 3D survival game with, well, it's kind of obvious, mining and crafting elements. The game has a survival mode in which you can try and survive as long as possible. Although not story driven, Minecraft does have an end goal. See what I did there?
Yeah, boy.
In which you use the resources you've gathered throughout the game to travel to the end dimension and slay the Ender Dragon. Sometimes it goes well.
Why isn't it hitting our nuclear? Whoa!
And sometimes it's actual suffering. Not gonna lie, I've had a few times where the thought of downing a bottle of toilet bleach was more enjoyable than killing that f***ing dragon. If you're like me and come home from a long day of doing absolute you want to unwind, and Minecraft has the perfect answer to your problem. Creative mode is like adding 50 training wheels onto your legs while walking. There are no limits. And in creative mode, you can build anything your brain can think of, which most of the time turns out to be something like this. Minecraft has even had its mark on the YouTube scene by absolutely dominating it, such as the Minecraft music parody scene in 2013. I mean, you're lying if you say you've never ever gotten emotional to the end of Fallen Kingdom. Or the massive mod review community. You had the greats like the Yogscast or Skyder's Minecraft or not you! But unfortunately they all seem to have fallen off the face of the earth since the initial fade in the game's popularity. As of recently though, Minecraft has seen a resurgence and speedrunning seems to be the new big thing. Obviously there's always drama and I said go away! Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, drama. There's always going to be some sort of drama. And if you know anything about cheating in speedruns, you can understand why. So why is this such an important game to me? Well, when I lived in South Africa, I didn't really have the freedom kids have in countries like England or the States. With that in mind, I spent a lot of my free time indoors playing video games to pass the time. One day I was on YouTube and I saw a gameplay video of this weird blocky game, and after I finished that video, I rushed to cancel my Moshi Monsters subscription so that I could buy it. Fast forward a few years, and I met one of my best friends. We both had an obsession with Minecraft at the time, and he lived next door to me, so most days we'd hop over the fence and just chill in his games room seeing what over-the-top thing we could build next. My favourite memory was when he built a massive version of Andy's room from Toy Story, and both of us, as well as our sisters, played hide and seek for hours and just had a blast. As well as that, Minecraft is a good way to relax when you have some downtime, but I would highly recommend playing it with friends. My last point before I move on would be another memory. Picture this. It's 2015. The Hunger Games film has just come out, and the idea of a battle royale was on every gamer's mind. Minecraft didn't hesitate before hopping on the bandwagon, and decided to make Minecraft Hunger Games. At the time, me and my friend didn't have access to a computer version of the game, which had servers, so we decided to make our own map. We spent days playing last person standing wins, and honestly, I think that was my favourite memory with the game. With that being said, I think that memory is a perfect transition into the next game I'd like to talk about. Now I know a lot of you have just let out a collective sigh, and to that I say you're completely justified. Fortnite is not the game it used to be, with the balancing on guns being sometimes non-existent, to the sweaty neckbeards that spend their lives practicing building so they can shit on anyone who just wants to play the game normally. And even the shameful selling out to various brands and companies. Like, come on, why do we need to see Master Chief, one of gaming's most badass video game characters, do some stupid anime dance? It just doesn't make sense. But I digress. When the game first came out, it took the world by storm, a bit like a certain global bastard has. From late 2017 to probably late 2019, you could not go anywhere in public without seeing some Fortnite merch in a shop, or some 35-year-old man-child wearing a boogie down hoodie. Back then, if you didn't have Fortnite installed on your console, you were one of the losers. Oh, how the tables have turned. I know I'm pulling all these punches against the game, but it was genuinely a fun time. Fortnite's impact on YouTube and Twitch was colossal too, with everyone's favourite human troll doll Ninja absolutely dominating the subscriber market, and even going so far as to stream with the popular rapper Drake, and then accuse him of using him for clout. My personal favourite Fortnite creator was Daquan, who used to do a variety of challenges such as using only shotguns, and using a signature catchphrases such as these.
360 ooga booga booga!
Fortnite to me was a very special time. It was the only game I actually cared about from about 2018 to 2019, and helped me reconnect with people from Africa I hadn't spoken to in a couple of years. I'll never forget getting on with the boys and bopping to the lobby soundtrack before hopping into a squad's game in hopes of achieving that fabled victory umbrella. Seriously though, you cannot tell me that this does not bring you back to a simpler time. Now before I continue with the video, I want to know what your favourite memory playing Fortnite is. Make sure to let me know in the comments below, and if you don't have any, then you're one of the lucky ones. My friend Jeremy, who owns a channel called Fozcast, who you should subscribe to by the way, because he posts quality content such as this.
Welcome viewers to another Fozcast episode!
Anyway, we see everyone talking about this new Battle Royale game, which tickles both of our fancies. So we install it and start playing. We had some great clips like this one.
Do you know?
Have I actually just found what I think I've just found?
Anyway, do you know when they say that?
No! Off!
God.
No! Give it
Do you know
back!
when they say that? Do you know when they say?
My favourite part about playing the game now, however, is with my girlfriend, as she's on Xbox and I'm on PlayStation, and she refuses to play any other game with me. Fortnite is the go-to now. We always get competitive, like who will get the most kills in a game, or who will win first during a season. It was me, by the way. And it just adds a new take on what used to be a chore to play. Now I've covered the two most popular games that you're still paying attention, let's move on to the weirder shit. Where do I even begin with this one, eh? This is the game that inspired me to make this video essay, and one of my current top 3 favourite games. Destiny is a first-person looter shooter developed by Bungie. Yes, that Bungie. The ones who brought us this beautiful series. The game has 3 classes to choose from. There's Hunters, who are sneaky boys, Warlocks, who are magic boys, and Titans, who I can only describe as this. As well as that, Destiny also has a variety of activities to run, such as strikes, which are 3-person mini-missions with a boss fight at the end, or if you'd rather take your anger out of not getting an exotic you were after, running the same strike on the hardest difficulty for the last hour. It's a true story, by the way. You might want to clap some Guardian cheeks in the Crucible, Destiny's own player versus player mode. But playing these activities is simply just not enough. We need more. We need loot. You can't have incentive without reward, am I right? And my god, does Destiny deliver. Let's be honest here, the only reason you play these activities repeatedly is for the loot. There are 5 rarities to loot, but you'll only be caring about 2 of them when you reach the power cap in a season. There's grey, which is green, which is blue, which is purple is legendary, and gold is, well, let me just show you.
Yes!
You see, as well as chasing basic weapons and armour, there are special things called exotic. These items have one unique ability you won't find on any other item in the game. When I tell you exotics will be your equivalent to a hit of grade A black tar heroin, I mean it. In short, you get one, and you'll want them all. Some of my favourite exotics consist of Stompies, which turn anyone who can't parkour for shit into a mega jumping Chad, Outbreak Perfected, which is the equivalent of you shooting enemies with, and finally, the Ruinous Effigy, which when used on an enemy, will turn them into a literal basketball, and you can activate the move that made LeBron cry. Now I have you in the loop, I can explain why this game holds so much importance to me. During September of 2018, PlayStation Plus had Destiny as one of its free games. I'm a big fan of the Halo series, and Halo 3 was one of the first titles I ever played on an Xbox 360. So you can imagine my joy when I was able to download Bungie's next IP for absolutely cool money. The game was fun for the most part, but I didn't have many friends at the time. I had the game, and let alone were ready to run the raids. So I uninstalled it, let it gather dust until summer of 2019, when Fortnite bored the ever-loving hell out of me. I decided to give Destiny another go. I bought the newest expansion and played through all the new content in a few days, but it just ran into the same problem I had previously. There wasn't a sustainable endgame. I still had no team to run raids with. So I did something I never thought I'd do, and made a post on the communities tab looking for a group to casually carry me through some of the raids, as I hadn't even attempted them. Within a few minutes, someone messaged me. I instantly started to feel anxious, as I always do when meeting new people, and it almost made me not want to accept his party invitation. I'm gonna be honest, that would have been the biggest mistake of my life, as now I spend most nights chilling in a party chats with that man and all his friends, which now have become mine too. Within a week, he taught me a lot about the game and even helped me unlock some of the exotic quests that I hadn't even known existed. Instead of listing these moments off, I'm just going to share a few clips with you because I believe these speak way louder than anything I could say about these guys. Seriously, if any of you are watching this, thank you for making my gaming sessions worth coming back to. You lot are great.
Alright guys, we gotta go on a trash shoot, let's go.
Let's go.
I be sliding over cars while I shoot.
Why the f did I fall for that?
Yeah, look like
Why? Why? Why did I? I'm so angry. I'm so angry with myself right now. I knew that was coming. Every time. You think it was actually gonna fall for it? You piece of shit. I hope you burn in hell. Who's playing the goddamn country version of the Destiny thing again?
That's Gilbert, right? That's Gilbert in the Lost Sector.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
I thought it was someone just playing it just to f***ing piss me off.
My final question to you, before I close my first video out, is this. What game has had the most personal hold on you? Maybe it's a game that you always find yourself coming back to, or it's one that gives you that rush of dopamine every time you boot it up. Be sure to let me know in the comments, as I'm very curious to read. Firstly, I just want to say thank you for sticking around this long and listening to me ramble on about some of my favourite games and how they make me a little less of a depresso espresso. This was my first video, so I'm sorry if everything isn't perfect or stuff is wrong, as I'm still trying to find my feet, but hopefully this video was a good introduction to the channel as well as a little look into my personal taste in games. You know, be sure to keep updated when the next video comes out, and if you liked what you saw, then be sure to leave a like. But don't feel forced to, I'm not a money-hungry bastard. I'm looking at you. If you want to subscribe also, that would be much appreciated, but you don't have to if you don't feel like it. I'm not forcing you either. Anyway, I've been Finn, I'm not normal. See you around, and please, stand by.